Hello everybody and welcome to the sixth part of What If Naruto Was Madara's Legacy. I hope you enjoy this what if. Also don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest episodes. Chapter 12, Descendants Clash. Senju vs Uchiha. Naruto and Jiraiya walked into a bar and Naruto felt a wave of chakra pass over him and he looked at the source of the chakra and it was the blonde woman sitting the corner, and in the back of his head Indra stirred and he looked at the descendant of his younger brother. Naruto's anger started to stir as well, but Naruto took several deep breaths and calmed himself. Note to self, deal with Indra later. Naruto thought to himself as he looked at the Senju before him. Hey Tsunade. Jiraiya called out. Jiraiya. Tsunade called out shocked. Long time no see Tsunade-heim, I finally found you. Boy, am I tired. Tsunade and Jiraiya look at one another as they sit down. I'm just seeing all sorts of old faces today. Tsunade says, shaking her head. Orochimaru right? Naruto said, adding his 2 cents to the conversation. Who's the brat? Tsunade asked. This is Naruto Uchiha. Jiraiya said. Grandson of Madara Uchiha and Chunin of Konoha and head of the Uchiha clan. Tsunade's eyes narrowed at the mention of Madara's name. Madara had a grandson. Tsunade said, shocked. That's impossible, he died after the fight with my grandfather. Yeah, or at least that's what Hashirama thought, but he failed to deliver the killing blow and Madara Gigi survived and he met my Bachan who nursed him back to health and they had a kid, but who the kid was is a secret so I can't tell you. Now if I were you Senju I'd stop asking questions. What do you want? Why are you here Jiraiya? Tsunade looks at her old teammate after noting the coldness in Naruto's voice when he said Senju, but based on who his grandfather was that was no surprise. Right to the point, as usual Tsunade. Jiraiya says, shakes as his. The village wants you to become the 5th Hokage. Count me out, that's a fool's game. Naruto's eye started twitching and he reached for the gunbai on his back. Must. Resist. Urge. To. Kill. Blonde. Senju. Uchiha. Instincts. Acting. Up. Naruto's Sharingan starts spinning wildly as his anger grows. Calm down Naruto. Kurama said, trying to combat the instincts that Indra's chakra was causing. I'm gonna smack her over the head with my gunbai. Do I need to control your body? Don't bother. Naruto said. I control me, not my instincts. Naruto took a deep breath and calmed down. Think of your grandfather and great uncle, they gave their lives to protect the village. Jiraiya said. Exactly, they died for nothing. Tsunade said coldly. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. Naruto stood up and grabbed Tsunade's throat in a vice-like grip, his Sharingan spinning. Your weakness disgusts me. And as a weak woman you disgust me even further, and most disgusting of all, you are a weak Senju. I fought your grandfather not 4 days ago and it was the most intense fight I've ever had. In that moment when our fists collided I knew more about your grandfather than one could learn in several years of talking, and he would be ashamed of you if he saw you wallowing in your own self-pity, getting drunk and wasting your life like this. I'm going to show you the true power of an Uchiha in 2 days' time. I expect you to be there or I will find you and I will drag you there myself. You wanna start something, brat? Tsunade slammed her fist on the table, smashing it to pieces. If you want to dance with me then we take this outside Senju, and if you can't offer me a challenge I will kill you, and that's that. Naruto walked outside and the others followed him, and when they walked out onto the street Naruto faced Tsunade gripping his gunbai in his right hand. Tsunade formed 3 hand signs, purging her body of the excess alcohol, allowing her to think clearly. Naruto raised an eyebrow, then without warning charged Tsunade and swung the gunbai, and then half his Susanoo's rib cage formed, slicing Tsunade. Then he swung his gunbai and a blast of wind fired from the gunbai, and then Naruto swung with his Susanoo's blade, but this time Tsunade substituted with a log and bum rushed Naruto and threw a full-powered punch at Naruto, intent on pulverizing him, but Naruto raised his gunbai and braced it with his other hand. Stupid brat, nothing can withstand my strength, I'll pulverize him. Tsunade thought, and then her punch connected with Naruto's gunbai and there wasn't even a scratch on the thing. Tsunade's eyes widened in shock, then Naruto thrust the gunbai in front of him. Uchiha Geishi. Uchiha Reflection. Naruto reflected Tsunade's attack and the force blasted Tsunade backwards, and Naruto wasted no time in charging in and delivering a devastating axe kick, and then he jumped back and started with hand signs. I suggest you dodge this next attack, Senju, because if you don't you're toast. Naruto finished a single hand sign. Katan, Ryuan Hoka no Jutsu. Naruto unleashed a blast of flame and Tsunade's eyes widened in shock and she slammed her fist on the ground and a section of the street rose up and blocked the gigantic dragon, which exploded and a wall heat passed over Tsunade and Naruto formed the snake hand seal. Behold the power you should be wielding, Senju. Moukton, Jukai Koten. Naruto's chakra created a gigantic root system and the trees rocketed toward Tsunade and her eyes widened in shock. Impossible, only Gigi could do that and I can't even use his Moukton. How can this Uchiha brat use it? Tsunade's thoughts were interrupted when Naruto ran at her, his Mangekyo flaring and drawing his blade, and he channeled Hayatan chakra into the blade. Hayatan, Tsukishiro. Ice Style, White Moon, A/N. I got the name of the attack from Bleach 2, which I don't own. As for using Rukia's techniques in the attacks, I feel that Rinnegan's powers are too great and I am considering give Haku those kinds of abilities but slightly altered, but that won't be for a while. Naruto roared and swung his blade and a circle of ice appeared beneath Tsunade's feet and a tower of ice rocketed into the sky. Tsunade dodged and Naruto locked eyes with Tsunade. Tsukuyomi. Naruto eyes swirled as Tsunade fell prey to his genjutsu. Tsukuyomi whirled. Tsunade was strapped to a cross and Naruto stood before her holding a sword in his hand. What is this? Tsunade said, shocked. Tsukuyomi, the ultimate genjutsu of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Here in this world I am God, here time, space and even physical mass, I control them all. Oh, and what do you plan to do to me? Naruto held up the sword in his hand and it changed into a feather duster. I'm going to tickle you to death. Naruto started pressing the feather duster to Tsunade and started rubbing it against her, causing to start to giggle, and after a few minutes she started laughing like crazy. Regular world. Naruto and Tsunade were standing still as Naruto's eyes swirled, maintaining the genjutsu that kept Tsunade trapped. Suddenly Tsunade collapsed, red-faced, wheezing, and she was glaring at Naruto. What's wrong, Tsunade-hime? Jiraiya asked. B bastard M made me laugh for 72 hours straight. Tsunade growled. That's an interesting use of that genjutsu. Jiraiya laughed. You know about it? Shizen asked. Yeah, it's called Tsukuyomi and it places the victim in a world completely under control of the user to do as they wish. It's so powerful that only another Uchiha with a fully matured Sharingan can break it. Whoa. Tsunade said, shocked. Yeah, and my mastery of Tsukuyomi is so powerful I could make you tell me anything I want to know. Naruto said, looking at Tsunade. Do you know the power you were up against? Naruto rolled his neck, cracking it and glaring at the Senju before him. You say you fought my Gigi, how did you win? My power and a ceiling tag. He was brought back using Edo Tensei and the caster was none other than your former teammate, and you said that you met him earlier, correct? Yeah, I did. What did he want? He wanted me to go with him, he didn't say why. And what did he offer for your cooperation? Why should I tell you, Uchiha brat? I can force you, remember? Fine, he offered to bring by my younger brother and my former lover, Dan. Well, that settles it. He's planning on using Edo Tensei to bring them back, which, for one, requires a living sacrifice for every person reanimated, and then while they are reanimated they retain all memoirs, jutsu, and experience they had in life. Their personalities can be suppressed and they can be turned into mindless killing machines. You know a lot about that jutsu. Jiraiya said suspiciously. Remember who I was raised by? Gigi knew a lot about reanimation and he even helped Tobirama invent it, but of course your great uncle would never mention he had help from an Uchiha, and while he didn't hate our clan he still was a Senju through and through. I saw your grandfather when I was a little girl and he was always scary. Yeah, Gigi was a scary man, but he had a kind and companionate side that he only let his loved ones see. Anyway, Orochimaru is not a man of his word. My spy has told me this much has been made clear to me. The moment you give Orochimaru what he wants, he'll kill you and most likely use Dan and your younger brother to do it. Why do you care for a Senju like this? You are an Uchiha. Because I am also an Uzumaki, and we Uzumaki never abandon our kin, and the Senju clan are cousins of the Uzumaki, so while one part of me calls for your death, two parts call for kinship. We both share a portion of Asura Senju's chakra. Who? Ah, of course you don't know about Azura, do you? He was the sage's youngest of three. His older siblings were Indra Uchiha and Mocha Uzumaki. The daughter never knew her younger brothers as she left to forge her own path. It broke her father's heart to see his little girl go, but he knew that what she had to do. So why did you say we share Azura's chakra? You aren't a Senju. Naruto's eye darkened. What I'm about to tell you may infuriate you, but know that I will not abuse the power I've been granted. You see, when I was 5, my grandfather had one of his agents to capture me in order to save me from Konoha's fox hunts. When they attack me and attempt to kill me, Gigi saved my life by binding some of Hashirama's tissue that he acquired back at the Shimatsu no Tani. When my grandmother saved my grandfather, she implanted some of the tissue that Gigi bit off Hashirama back during their struggle, and she found that in his mouth, and desperate to save the man before her, she implanted the flesh into the hole in Gigi's skin and channeled her chakra into the chakra, which instantly responded, and the tissue formed around the wound and even repaired Gigi's damaged heart. And Gigi learned what she did and scraped some of the tissue off himself and had it growing into a small lump which he stored away in case of an emergency. Eventually he had artificial Hashirama clones create from the flesh, and he used that to save my life. That's how I can use Moukton. Tsunade's eyes widened in shock at the story that the boy before her had just said. So you've got my grandfather's tissue bound to your skin, eh? However, that doesn't explain why you look like a normal person and in no way like my grandfather. Ever hear of the medical technique, Ninpo, Hada Yugo no Jutsu? I'm sure a medical ninja of your caliber would have heard of it. Yeah, I've heard about it, Tsunade said. My grandfather invented it and said he uses it to help heal injuries, or when a new arm is attached he used it to make sure that it functioned properly. Correct, but it was with Madara's help that he perfected it. In the years that my grandfather and yours lead the village, they were always helping the other perfect techniques. For example, your grandfather helped Gigi perfect his signature Katon ninjutsu, Goka Mikyaku. Interesting, Jiraiya said. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Naruto looked at Tsunade. What will you do as far as Orochimaru goes? I'm still weighing my options, Tsunade said. After all I've told you, you're still going to consider that bastard's offer? If Orochimaru offered to bring your loved ones back to you, wouldn't you consider it? My father is out of the question. He's sealed inside the Shinigami's stomach, so even if Orochimaru wanted to, he couldn't bring back my dad, and I know my mom is at peace. I wouldn't dare bring her here to satisfy my selfish desires. Naruto glared. To top it off, my grandfather wouldn't like me to betray my beliefs for some stupid desire. He raised me better than that. Well, other than my grandfather's Moukton, what other benefits did you get? Well, other than the fox's natural healing powers, I got a boost to both my chakra. I'm about mid to upper Biju in pure chakra. Why do you want me to come back? I thought the Uchiha always wanted to be acknowledged as the strongest. An opportunity to become Hokage is not something an Uchiha would pass up. I lack the qualifications to be Hokage, so the village has chosen another Senju to lead the Konoha. Poor Uchiha-kun, never once has your clan lead our village, and yet a Senju will lead the village for a third time, Jiraiya said mockingly. That's assuming I agree, Tsunade said darkly. Naruto grabbed Tsunade by the throat. I am so done playing games with you. You're becoming Godame even if I have to use a technique I swore I would never use. And what would that be? Tsunade asked. Naruto's next words stopped her heart for a few seconds. Koto Amatsukami. Shursue's technique, but how do you know it? Every so often a wielder of the Iron no Mangekyo will be born with the ability to use up to 5 different abilities. The first ability I unlocked was time reversal, the second one was unlocking or sealing the hidden power with everyone, the third was Kamui, which allows me to pass through attacks with ease, the fourth, Koto Amatsukami, and then finally I unlocked the final ability, copying elemental Kekkei Genkai. Impossible, Tsunade scoffed. Impossible? Then how did I use Hayaton ninjutsu? Kushina Ka-chan never had Hayaton, neither did my father. Tsunade's eyes widened in shock at that name. Why, you're Kushina's kid? What's it to you, Senju? Naruto growled. What I'm about to tell you is something you can never repeat to anyone. My father, Hashirama's son, had another brother who inherited everything that Mito Bachan was. I'm talking full-on Uzumaki bloodline. He had the red hair, Temper extreme chakra reserves, and he was the most badass SOB on the block. But a few years before the start of the Second Shinobi World War, my uncle went to Uzushiogakure, and after many years of not hearing from him, I received word from one of Jiraiya's summons that Uzushiogakure had been destroyed and my uncle couldn't make it out and lost his life as a result of the battle. But then a few years later, a small kunoichi appeared bearing an uncanny resemblance to my brother. I had a DNA test to ensure my suspicions were correct, and they were. Kushina Uzumaki was my uncle's daughter, your mother was my cousin and a descendant of Hashirama Senju. Tsunade finished and Naruto dropped Tsunade in shock, and he reeled back in shock. Afterlife. Madara was having a bad day. Shinigami-sama had ordered him to specifically focus on paperwork, and it was late at night. He was exhausted both physically and mentally, and to top it all off, he was forbidden from seeing his wife, which was the only thing that would help him keep sane. However, let it never be said that Lady Luck never smiles on Madara. Today was a relatively easy day, and Madara actually did something that no one considered possible. He completed the Shinigami's paperwork, and he was about to clock out for the night when a roar of, "You have got to be kidding me," ripped through the silent world of the afterlife. Madara fell over and knocked over the neat stacks of completed paperwork. "Oh fuck me!" Madara roared, slamming his head on the desk in front of him. Just then CJ walked in and said nothing as he watched Madara slam his head repeatedly on the desk. "You done?" CJ asked the former terror of the shinobi world. "I hate my afterlife. I just managed to get every piece of paperwork finished and organized just like you told me." When this shout shocks me and I fall over and knock off all the paperwork, and now I'm not going to get any sleep. Madara slammed his head against the desk again. CJ's eyes widened in shock. "Why, you actually finished all my paperwork?" "Yeah, but now I'm gonna have to sort them all over again, and that sucks." Madara slunked his head similar to Hashirama. "As a reward for finishing my paperwork, I'll let you use any clone jutsu you can think of to sort the paperwork and let you use your Rinnegan to properly sort it." CJ snapped his fingers and Madara's Sharingan returned, and instantly Madara expanded them into his Rinnegan. Then Madara made a cross-hand seal. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Madara made several clones, and in a few minutes everything was back to the way it was before. That shout startled Madara. "Nice work, Madara. I can now safely release you from both your punishment and allow you to see your wife and son again. I'm sure you three have a lot to catch up on." CJ drew his scythe and slashed a portal open and pushed Madara into it, who, when his eyes recovered, he saw his wife Rika and Minato and a woman in green dress and blazing red hair holding his son's hand. "Rika." Madara smiled at his wife, whose eyes widened in shock and her eyes teared up seeing her husband again. "Madara." Rika cried out, and she ran up and hugged her husband, crying into his armored shoulder. "Hey Dad." Minato said to his father, his eyes brimming with tears just like his mother. Kushina had a less than favorable reaction to the sight of the ancient Uchiha. "Why are you here, Uchiha?" Kushina snarled. "Was I talking to you, Senju?" Madara snapped back. This caught Minato's attention and he spun around to face his wife. "Why, you're a Senju?" Minato said, shocked. "Surprise," Kushina said weakly. "I expected better of you, my son." Madara scolded. "To marry a Senju of all people, what happened to your Uchiha pride?" "I don't care who Kushina-chan's family is," Minato said as he dropped into a fighting stance. "All I do care about is that she is still the same girl I fell for back in the academy, and if you don't approve of our relationship, then tough toenails, I love her and there isn't a damn thing you can say to change my mind." "Do you want to dance with me, Minato? We'll see if you are worthy of being my son after you betrayed our clan's way and married a Senju, not that I care about a weak Senju anyway," Madara said, dropping into his own stance. "Let's see how the Senju brat reacts, then I'll make my decision." "Shut the fuck up, Tebane," a demonic voice roared. Madara whipped his head to look at Kushina and his eyes shrank in horror at what he was seeing. Kushina's hair was waving behind her like a cubie of death, and Madara even saw the face of a demon looking at him as Kushina drew a blade from its sheath on her hip. "Meep," Madara thought as the angry Kushina walked dramatically towards him, her blade glowing with a huge amount of fire chakra. "Uzumaki Hijitsu, Enten no Mai." Kushina charged Madara, who started dodging her strike, and for some reason he felt that even if one strike met its mark he'd be in deep trouble. Madara activated his Susanoo, using it to defend himself from the barrage of attacks, but when the sword came in contact with the ethereal warrior it sliced right through the warrior and Madara jumped out of the way to avoid getting his arm chopped off. Impossible, nothing can pierce the Susanoo, but this woman sliced right through it and nearly cut my arm off. Let's see how she handles this. Madara landed on the ground and formed the snake hand seal. Moukton, Jukai Koten. Madara's command caused a forest of trees rocketed towards Kushina, but then Kushina tossed her sword in the air and weaved the snake hand sign. Moukton, Jukai Koten. Just like Madara, Kushina commanded a forest of trees to rocket toward her enemy. Impossible, oh wait, what am I saying? Of course it's possible. A Senju using Hashirama's Moukton is just completely unheard of. Dai Tebane. Kushina weaved more hand signs. Uzumaki Hijitsu, Mugen Yami no dash. What the hell is going on here? A dark voice roared and a huge weight slammed down the shinobi, and even Madara was having trouble breathing. Suddenly there was a tug on Madara's ear. Ow, 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 ow. Madara growled, then he escaped the grasp. Who dares dash? Madara spun around to see CJ floating there, a stern look on his face. Care to finish that sentence, Madara? A new voice said as a woman stepped out from behind CJ, a sword strapped to her waist. Hey Amy. Kushina said, shocked seeing her old childhood friend in the flesh, baby. Amy smiled, rolling her neck. Amy-chan. CJ said as he smiled. Glad to see my Kichijotunheim. I have to thank you for letting Kami-sama make me a goddess so we could be together. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty awesome. CJ smiled again. You're still arrogant, thought. CJ slunked his head again. So mean. CJ cried anime tears. Hashinigami-sama's whipped. Madara laughed. Care to repeat that? CJ said dangerously. I was thinking that I could pull a couple of things that would give me mountains of paperwork and renewing your punishment. What do you think, Kichijotunheim? The blood in Madara's face instantly drained. I don't know, I say you should go on a walk in the human world that would put you behind your desk for at least the next 50 years or so. Amy smiled as the color drained from Madara's face even further. Kushina and Minato started busting out laughing at the expression on Madara's face. Might I ask what is so funny? Rika asked at her son's and her daughter-in-law's reactions. Minato-kun and CJ-sama had a very infamous reputation as Konoha's prank kings. Kushina said, wiping tears from her eyes. I was always a close second in CJ-sama, Minato-kun, and I would pull off pranks for fun that kept the Sandaime behind his desk for 5 straight months randomly, and the longer the break between them the bigger the prank. I think he still holds a grudge against us for doing that. That he does, Kushinaheim, that he does. Minato said as he kissed his wife, much to Madara's irk. Tanzaku Town. Naruto had pulled out his gunbai out and was slamming his head against it repeatedly, and every time his head struck the metal fan a loud clang would issue out. You have got to be kidding me. Naruto permeated each word with a head bang on the gunbai. Eventually Naruto hit the gunbai too hard and a bit of blood leaked from his head, and Tsunade froze up and clutched the necklace on her chest, trembling. Be blood. Tsunade stammered, trembling. Hemophobia. Naruto thought, shocked. Who would have thought the world's greatest medic was a homophobic? Yeah, I'll admit it's weird, Kit. Kurama said. You could use Koto Amatsukami to eliminate that fear of blood. If she gets into a battle with that rotten snake, he'll use her fear against her. You're very right, but let's try shock therapy first. Naruto looked at Tsunade, a serious look on his face. Such a pathetic attitude is unbecoming a Senju. If Hashirama saw you, he would be ashamed of you. Tsunade didn't react. Let's go, Erosen. In such a weak and pathetic Senju is clearly not worth our time. Shut up. Tsunade said. If you are not weak and worthless, then prove it. Naruto said, unleashing a torrent of Ki, hoping to focus Tsunade's mind. I said shut up. Tsunade roared and she charged Naruto, who smiled and he formed a hand sign. Katan, Ryu and Hoka. Naruto stared. Oh no, you don't. Tsunade roared as she charged Naruto. That's more like it. Naruto charged again and Tsunade and Naruto clashed again, and they clashed over and over, and Naruto eventually used his Sharingan to paralyze Tsunade. My body won't move. That's a true Senju, you are worthy of that name. Why did you do that? To shock you out of your hemophilia, and I'm pleased to say it worked. Now Orochimaru is not to be trusted. I can't stress this enough. I'll give you a week to work on a counter strategy. 1 half to work on the Rasengan. What? Tsunade rounded on Jiraiya. You went and taught him the Rasengan. What's the point of teaching him a jutsu he'll never master? You underestimate him, Tsunade. He's quite the genius and far stronger than both Orochimaru and myself. Jiraiya said. Not 4 days ago he fought both his own great-grandfather and great-granduncle, but he also took down the One Tail not 10 minutes later. I think learning the Rasengan is child's play to him. Fine, if that's true, then I'll give you 1 week to master it. If you can master the Rasengan by that time, then I'll join Konoha and become Godame Hokage. And if I can't, I get all your money. I'm sure you know that as clan head of the Uchiha clan I can't have all my money on me. Yes, so I get every Ryo on you at this point in time. You've got a deal. Naruto held out his hand and Tsunade grabbed it and shook hands, finalizing the agreement. Naruto walked off toward a nearby forest to practice the Rasengan. Chapter 13, The Deal is Off. Orochimaru. Sasuke's Betrayal. Time skip 4 days later. Naruto was holding his hand and Jiraiya was looking at him with a stern look on his face. Again. Jiraiya said, and Naruto nodded, and he started swilling his chakra in his hand and the Rasengan formed in his hand and Naruto focused on compressing the chakra. Naruto was sweating slightly as he had been practicing all day. Rasengan. Naruto roared and dashed forward and slammed it into the tree he grew with his Moukton. The blue ball of chakra connected with the tree and it drilled into and then obliterated it. Congratulations Naruto, you've mastered the Rasengan. Jiraiya smiled. Took me long enough. Naruto glared at the ground. It took your father 3 years to perfect this technique, so I'm actually genuinely surprised that you managed to master in such a short time. Jiraiya ruffled Naruto's hair only for a depressed look to cover Naruto as he had been practicing all day. Gigi always did that to me when he was proud of me. Kami-sama, I feel so guilty. My first kill was my own grandfather. Naruto wiped tears from his eyes, his Ion no Mangekyo involuntarily activating. Anyway, let's head back. I've dwelled on the past for too long, I need to let it go. Naruto and Jiraiya walked back down to Tanzaka town to find Tsunade in a casino, A/N. Big surprise, when Naruto walked in he sat down at the machine next to Tsunade, and when the manager came to kick him out Naruto flashed his headband and the manager left him alone as he was a recognized adult. How's it coming, Gaki? Tsunade said, not looking away from the machine. Pretty good. I just thought I'd try my luck at the slot machine, just see if I could turn this into a hobby. Naruto inserted a Ryo coin and pulled the lever, and after a few minutes it landed on the highest jackpot the machine was capable dealing out. Tsunade looked shocked as the machine blinked and flashed with lights. Probably just beginner's luck. Tsunade turned back to her machine and tried her horrible luck again. Time skip 2 hours later. Jiraiya was staring at Tsunade Naruto in absolute shock as she bowed down, repeating the phrase. Hail the Kami no cake. Behind the casino owners were crying anime waterfall tears, having no choice but to foreclose or declare Naruto the new owner of the establishment, as they now owed him more money than they had. Eventually the old owner handed Naruto the deed to the place and asked him to sign some papers to transfer ownership. Please don't tell me that you mastered the Rasengan, Tsunade said. I don't think I could take any more shock. Well, I actually did master it about 2 hours ago. Tsunade collapsed in shock and her world went black as she fainted. Time skip night before Orochimaru's deadline. Tsunade was watching Naruto spar with Jiraiya and Shizune, and she gripped Hashirama's necklace in her hand, thinking about tomorrow. Moukton, Jukai Kuton. Naruto roared and a huge forest of trees grew into existence and started trying to ensnare Jiraiya and Shizune. Dan, Nawaki, what should I do? I want to desperately see you again, but at the same time I know Orochimaru will use you to kill me. Tsunade thought as she watched the spar continue, which eventually ended with Naruto beating Jiraiya and Shizune. Naruto looked over at his great-aunt and saw her clutching Hashirama's necklace. Tsunade Bachan? Naruto asked, concerned. You need to talk to me about something. I don't know what to do about Orochimaru's offer. I mean, I know he will betray me, but part of me still really wants to see Nawaki and Dan again. Well, just know he might kill you and not even give you what you asked for. Thank you Naruto, but I know that. Now you should get some sleep. No matter what decision I make, tomorrow will be a long day. Naruto and the others went to their hotel rooms and they all fell asleep. Time skip 8 hours later. With sleep came the answer. Tsunade finally sought whether to give Orochimaru what he wanted, and her answer was 2 words. Fuck off. Tsunade punched Kabuto in the chest, almost killing him, but he substituted with a log at the last second. You decline my offer? How surprising, Tsunade. Orochimaru chuckled. I thought you wanted to see your beloved Nawaki and Dan again. I've met someone even more precious to me now. Shall we skin a snake, Naruto-kun? Wiser word were never spoken, Senju. Naruto's voice echoed around as the air shimmered and swirled into existence next to Tsunade, his EMS flaring darkly as he looked at Kabuto and Orochimaru. Crap in a bucket. Kabuto thought as he looked at the raw power Naruto radiated. You sure you don't want to fight me, Naruto? I'm strong as Kakashi Hatake. Well, compared to me, Kakashi Hatake is mere cannon fodder. Naruto smiled darkly. Let's dance, little weakling. Naruto charged Kabuto and started attacking him, and in a few seconds Kabuto found himself on his last leg, cuts and wounds all over his body from Naruto's furious barrage of blows and sword cuts. Wow, Kabuto, all the bragging you were doing, and you were this weak. I really overestimated your abilities. Naruto held out his hand. Time for you to die. A spiraling sphere appeared in Naruto's hand. Eat it, motherfucker. Naruto charged and slammed the Rasengan into Kabuto's chest, blasting him back. The ball of chakra erupted outward, searing into Kabuto as Naruto's Rasengan tore him apart. Orochimaru was quickly knocked back towards his subordinate. Orochimaru-sama, we need to turn the tide of this battle. We need Manda-sama. Of course, and the sight of blood will incapacitate Tsunade. Orochimaru bit his thumb, and to his shock Tsunade bit her own thumb and Naruto bit his. Out of the corner of his eye Orochimaru saw Jiraiya but his thumb. Kuchiyos no Jutsu. In 4 flashes of smoke the boss summons of the Slug, Snake and Toad clans appeared, but they all froze when a deep malice filled the air. Manda started shaking. Gamabunta remembered that horrible night almost 13 years ago, and Katsuyu looked on in horror, and Kurama appeared in all his glory, his eyes slit, his tails billowing behind him. Let's go, Kurama. Naruto activated his EMS and coated Kurama and himself in his Susanoo. Naruto looked at Orochimaru as Kurama approached Manda. This Susanoo Kyuubi fusion is power personified and destruction itself. Kurama rose on his hind legs and formed a Bijudama, and Naruto held his Susanoo's blade up to the sphere of chakra, and then Kurama fired it at Orochimaru, who bit his thumb again. Kuchiyo Sunju Rashomon, but the Bijudama tore right through the triple wall and Manda jumped out the way, and the mountains in the distance exploded from the force of the attack. Let's go, Gamabunta, are we gonna let a little kid show us up? Jiraiya shouted. Hell no. Gamabunta charged Manda while Kurama danced around the snake, and Naruto swung the Susanoo blade, making it impossible for Manda to counter, and Katsuyu fired a stream of acid slime which Manda dodged, only to cut by Gamabunta's sword and smacked with Kurama's tails and raked by Kurama's claws and smashed by the Susanoo fist, and Manda backed up to gain some distance only to walk into Katsuyu's acid slime which melted part of him, and in only a few minutes of constant punishment Manda had no choice but to dispel. Naruto dismissed Kurama and stood in his Susanoo looking the spitting image of his grandfather, arms folded. This Susanoo is destruction itself. Naruto said, doing his best. I'm motherfucking Madara Uchiha, bow down bitch, voice as the Susanoo drew its blade. Shatter and be destroyed. With a mental command the Susanoo swung the blade and smashed Orochimaru to pieces, only for him to escape damage with a Kawarimi. You are strong, Naruto-kun, but you are no match for me. Orochimaru said, only for a blue flame to burst into life on Orochimaru's left arm. Orochimaru sliced off the arm, instantly recognizing the burning sensation of Amaterasu. Then he noticed the different color of the flames. Don't bother, Orochimaru, not even you can regrow a limb burned off by the blue flames of my Kitsune Amaterasu. Ninjutsu is now forever out of your reach. Naruto's Susanoo raised its blade. Die! The Susanoo swung its blade again, but Kabuto managed to grab Orochimaru and shined away. Damn! Naruto cursed as he lowered his Susanoo. He got away. Oh well, I'll deal with him all in due time. Well, after that I think we should head back to Konoha. Jiraiya said as he dismounted. Gamabunta and Tsunade said. Sure, let's go. Time skip 3 days later. Tsunade stood before Konoha as Sarutobi stood beside her. Citizens of Konoha, I, Sarutobi Hiruzen, stand before as Sandaime Hokage. For many years I have lead this village as its Hokage. I know I have had a very long reign as the village leader, but one of the main reasons that I stand before you today is to announce my retirement for the second time, and hopefully it will be longer than the last one. Most of Konoha laughed at Sarutobi's little joke. Anyway, I am here to announce my successor, my student and one of the legendary Sannin, Tsunade Senju. All of the gathered members of the village cheered and fireworks went off at the naming of the Godame Hokage. Tsunade steps forward and takes her hat off. As Tsunade Senju, I swear as your Godame Hokage that, from this day forth, I will protect this village. Tsunade said, and the village cheered once more, and Naruto smiled at his great aunt. Then he grabbed Hinata's hand, who was standing next to him, and kissed her on the cheek, and Hayashi smiled. After a while of cheering, Konoha's citizens left to go about their day-to-day business. Naruto and Hinata walked off to go on a small date, and when they sat down and after a while an Umbu landed and looked at Naruto. Naruto, Uzumaki Godame-sama has requested your presence in her office. Right. Naruto. Hirai shined into the office and looked at Tsunade and Sarutobi. Naruto Uzumaki, for your success in an S-ranked mission I am hereby promoting you to Jounin rank. Tsunade says and hands Naruto a jacket and he places it on under his armor. Thanks Oba-chan. Naruto smiled and walked out. After a while of walking, Naruto ran into Sasuke being his usual broody self, and Naruto ignored him only for Sasuke to, quite literally out of nowhere, throw a punch at Naruto only for Naruto to dodge quite effortlessly. You know, Sasuke, attacking your clan head is punishable by banishment from the clan, right? But without a majority vote of 8 Elder Uchiha I would have the right to defend my case. Sasuke said as he smirked, thinking he'd trapped Naruto in the same loophole Naruto used against him back in the council room. Yeah, you would, but I also have the power to exclude any elders that might or might not exist if the matter is a direct assault on the clan head outside of training or direct combat. God damn it. Sasuke cursed in his head, realizing that Naruto was once again correct. But I won't banish you because I am in a good mood today, but next time I won't be so lenient, so consider yourself warned, Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto walked away and he landed in an abandoned training ground, and after a few minutes Zetsu emerged. Naruto-sama, I have news. White Zetsu said. Speak. Naruto commanded. Obito has finished his first steps in Project Tsuki no Mi, and now more members are being ordered to gather the Biju, and their first targets are the Gobi and Sanbai. Black Zetsu reported. Troubling news, I'll have to speed up my Project Rising Tide to compensate. How is Step 1 going? The salvaging and rebuilding of Uzushiogakure is going just as scheduled, and we estimate it will be completed by the end of next year. And the plan to restore my family? My clones have been retrieving the required material. The only thing that is missing is the mask of the Shinigami, which we have been unable to locate as of right now. Naruto got a scowl on his face as he pondered ways to find the mask. Replace of Orochimaru's researchers and search his notes with any relation to the Uzumaki clan. By your command, Naruto-sama. Zetsu sunk into the ground. Naruto continued pondering for a few minutes, then shook his head and went off find Gaara. After about 20 minutes of searching, Naruto found Gaara and his siblings by the front gate getting ready to leave Konoha when Naruto tapped Gaara on the shoulder and smiled. Time to fix that seal of yours, follow me. Naruto and the others went off to the Senju compound, which Naruto along with Tsunade lived in, and Naruto went down the stairs to the basement, and Naruto looked at Gaara and pointed to a large ceiling diagram in the center of the room. Gaara, I need you to sit in the center of that ceiling matrix and lift up your shirt to expose your stomach. I'll handle the rest. Okay. Gaara said as he walked and sat down in the center of the matrix and lifted his shirt. Naruto made 3 Moukton buns hins, and they sat at the 4 corners of the matrix as one. They started weaving hand signs and then stuck their index and middle fingers on both hands into the ground. Hak no Fuin Shiki. 8 trigrams ceiling style, the symbols on the ground shot towards Gaara and started aligning themselves in the position of the double Shinsho Fuin. Naruto then dispelled the clones and walked over to Gaara. Gaara, I need to see the seal that is currently holding Shikaku at bay. Gaara took off his shoulder strap that held his gourd and revealed a very poorly drawn and modified storage seal which was caked and failing. Oh. My. Kami-sama. Who drew this seal? The sealing expert of Tsunade, Lady Chiyo. Temari responded. Well, she's a shitty seal master if that's the case. This is a poorly drawn and modified storage seal. It doesn't even contain a psychological blocker to separate the consciousness of Shikaku and Gaara. Naruto looked at Gaara. Now for hard part switching Shikaku from the old seal to the new one. Naruto activated his Sharingan and stared into Gaara's eyes, and in a flash entered Gaara's mindscape, which was a huge desert, and he started walking towards the source of Shikaku's chakra. Come on out, Shikaku, I know you're here. So the little Uchiha brat finally decides to seal me away. Shikaku's voice echoed around him and rose up in front of him. This isn't what father would have wanted you to do, Shikaku. Kurama's voice echoed as he emerged from the shadows, transforming half the landscape into a dense forest. Look who's talking, Kurama. Shikaku countered. I have come to terms with what I once was, but I've made peace with my container. I know you, Shikaku, this craziness isn't you. What happened to you? Shut up, you stupid fox. You feel it, don't you, Kurama? Naruto asked as he looked at Shikaku and saw a tinge of blue inside of the sea of red that was Shikaku. Yeah, presence that shouldn't be there. Spirit Eye, Uchiha Naruto, command you to show yourself. Naruto's Sharingan spun. Obey, a small blue spirit emerged from Shikaku and stood in front of Naruto. Instantly the black dots around Shikaku's eyes vanished. What's going on? Where am I? Shikaku asked, looking around. Then he saw the spirit in front of him. You are the reason I've been going crazy over these last 30 years. So you found me out as Shikaku, the sand spirit. The spirit smiled, but Naruto grabbed the man's chest and used the power of his eyes to seal him deep within the sand of Gaara's mind, burying him forever. Now will you place his collar on Shikaku? Naruto pointed to the collar on the ground. Is that a new seal to replace the crappy one? It is. Finally I can sleep. Shikaku put on the collar and it locked around his neck, and instantly Shikaku lied down in the sand and fell asleep. Naruto left Gaara's mindscape and he saw Gaara fast asleep. Temari and Kankuro backed up in fear, but to their shock nothing happened. It worked, the seal is fixed, there is no reason to fear anymore. Gaara can sleep peacefully now. Naruto said, easing their fear. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a date. Feel free to make yourselves at home. Naruto left and walked off to meet Hinata. With Sasuke. Sasuke was punching training dummies, destroying them, letting his rage fuel him. Stupid. Sasuke punched another dummy. All-powerful. Loser. Sasuke used Chidori and destroyed the dummy. Just then 4 shinobi landed next to him. Who the hell are you? Sasuke asks. We are the Sound Ninja 4, I'm Kidamaru of the East Gate. Kidamaru says. I'm Sakan of the West Gate. Sakan continued. I'm Jirobo of the South Gate. Jirobo says. I'm Tayuya of the North Gate, shit face. Tayuya finishes. We are Orochimaru-sama's most elite bodyguards. Sakan said. Orochimaru-sama has sent us to extend an offer to join him. He can give you power. Power enough to get your revenge. We'll give you a day to think about it. Sasuke smiled darkly. There is nothing to think about it, I'm in. Sasuke said, his Sharingan activating and spinning. Then come with us once you have your stuff ready. Time skip 1 hour later. Sakura was walking down the street when she saw Sasuke walking towards the gate. Sasuke-kun. Sakura ran over to him, then she saw the backpack on his shoulder. Sasuke-kun, where are you going? I'm out of here. Sasuke responded. This village holds nothing for me anymore. Sakura's eyes widened in shock and she started crying. Why, Sasuke? Why won't you tell me anything? Why should I tell you, say anything to you? Sasuke bellowed. You are just so annoying. Sakura started to cry even more. Sasuke just spun around and started walking away again. Sasuke-kun, don't leave me. Sasuke vanished and chopped her in the back of neck. Goodbye. Sasuke continued off towards the gate and left. Time skipped the next morning. An Umbu patrol landed next to the gate and saw Sakura laying on the bench. They prodded her and woke her up. Sasuke-kun no. Sakura shot up and looked around. Time skip 2 hours later. Naruto and Shikamaru were standing in front of Tsunade. What's going on here? Naruto asked. Late last night Sasuke Uchiha left Konoha and I'm certain that he's headed to Otogakure. Naruto glared, his chakra turning darker by the second. This will be your first mission as a jounin of this village. However, it will be more dangerous than you think. There is a strong possibility that Orochimaru's men are guarding him. I knew it. Naruto glowered. He's left for the sake of power. You have 30 minutes to gather whatever genin you two think are up for the task. By your command, Hokage-sama. Naruto and Shikamaru said. Then the two of them run off, and as they are running, Naruto turns to Shikamaru. You know exactly who we're getting. Yep, I already have them in mind. Just then they arrive at Choji's house. Shikamaru starts knocking on the door. Wake up, man. Shikamaru calls out. After a few minutes there is no response, so Shikamaru sighs. Guess there's no choice. Shikamaru sits down and pulls out a bag of potato chips and opens them. Naruto gives Shikamaru a weird look. Potato chips? Naruto says incredulously. They're barbecue flavored, you're helping. Shikamaru and Naruto start to eat them, and when they reach the last one, Naruto and Shikamaru both know/feel Choji coming. When he bursts out of the door, he grabs the chip. I refuse to let anyone but me have the last bite. Choji says. I've been on Choji's team a long time, so asking him is a no-brainer. We work well. Oh, okay. Naruto drawls out, completely confused. Just then, as Choji's about to take the bite, he sees a dark shape rushing toward him. Too late, then Choji eats the chip and the figure is revealed to be Akamaru, and Kiba's standing behind him. Wait, don't tell me she knows next. Naruto asks, genuinely interested in Shikamaru's choices. She knows away on a special mission with his dad. Kiba responds. Okay, then she knows out, that's just perfect. Can I make a request? Naruto asks. Sure. Who? Shikamaru asks. Neji, he's a master of the gentle fist and a great asset, and we should get Lee with us if we can. Good thinking, Naruto. Even if the Sharingan is powerful, we can't rely on you to bail us out. That reminds me. Naruto reaches into his kunai pouch and hands each of them one of his Hiroshin kunai. Keep this on you at all times in case you need help. Just channel chakra into it and I'll know. Now let's go. The four of run off toward the gate as Naruto briefs them on the situation. So that's it. Guess it was worth it to wake up this early. Kiba says. Just then Naruto feels Lee's and Niji's chakra at the top of a stairway, and the four of them rush towards it. Oi Neji, Lee. Naruto calls out. Neji and Lee jump down looking at Naruto, and he briefs them on the mission. Naruto-kun, I would love to join you on this youthful mission, but I'm still sore from my surgery and I would only be a hindrance. Lee says, slightly depressed. What about you, Neji? I can see why you chose me. If Lady Hinata accompanied us, you would be worried about her the entire time. You're important too. Naruto smiles and Neji laughs slightly. Let's go. Then, Naruto, Neji, Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba and Akamaru run towards the front gates, and then they swing open and Naruto expands his sensory abilities in order to pick up Sasuke's trail. Just then Lee walks up to bid them the best of luck on their mission. I am ready when you are. Shikamaru asks Naruto. Strategy's not my forte, so I think you should come up with it. Naruto responds. Alright then, I've got a plan, but you all need to do exactly as I say or we're all going to die. Everyone gives him a shocked look, but Naruto, however, gains a determined look. We need a formation in order to be able to counter an enemy ambush. We're going in a straight line formation, but since that is susceptible to ambush, our scout needs to be the front, so in other words, that's you, Kiba. Kiba gets a shocked look. You walk, Akamaru, so you know the high no kuni very well, plus you can detect booby traps biased on the enemy's scent, and Sasuke, that is if Naruto's sensory abilities can't find him first. Next will be me, the squad leader. Being behind Kiba, I will be able to give orders based on the situations that unfold. Also, I can give orders to the rest of you with hand signals. Next is the center. Third position is Naruto. You've got fast reaction time, shadow clones, the firsts with style, sensory abilities, and last but certainly not least is your Sharingan, which can see chakra plus your Mangekyo. Right. Naruto nods. The fourth position is Uchoji. Second to Naruto, you pack the biggest wallop, meaning if by some miracle they get past Naruto you can finish them quickly. The last position is Uniji. I'm going to have you handle the most difficult job as rear lookout. With the Byakugan you can check for blind spots in the line and account for them. Shikamaru takes out a pencil and scroll and unrolls the scroll and starts drawing on it. When he is finished he looks at each member of his team. Look at your appointed scouting area depicted in this drawing. Kiba, you watch in front as will I, but I have a wider scope. Naruto, you take left, Choji the right, and Niji, you use your Byakugan for the entire rear area. Also I want to know what our battle strength is, so let me check your equipment and I will keep track of what you've got. Any questions? Everyone shakes their head while Lee watches with fascination. With the members he got in such a short time, he thought of a perfect formation so quickly. Lee thinks in awe. If not, let me say one last thing, this is the most important thing. Sasuke isn't a close friend of mine, but nevertheless he's a Konoha shinobi and as such our comrade, so we have to do the best we can to rescue him. That is the way of Konoha. This is way too troublesome for me to like, but I'm responsible for all of you. Everyone gives Shikamaru an encouraging smile. Then they show Shikamaru their equipment. Alright, let's go. Everyone starts to leave when a voice calls out. Wait, everyone turns to see Sakura standing there. Sakura, I heard what happened from Lady Tsunade. Unfortunately we can't take you with us, you have too much of an emotional attachment and we can't risk another incident. Shikamaru says. Plus you would just slow us down. Naruto says coldly. Everyone looked at him with shock. Please bring Sasuke-kun back to me. Sakura pleaded. I'll bring him back, but if I do it might be in a body bag. Naruto says. He's a traitor to this village now. If he's back his fate is sealed. He will die. Alright, let's head out. Then everyone leaps off in the direction of Sasuke's scent. With the sound Ninja 4. Sakan, Tayuya, Jirobo, and Kadamaru stop. This should be far enough. Sakan says. Right, let's get this over with. Kadamaru says. Sakan takes out a small bottle of pills and opens Sasuke's mouth and then takes out a barrel with seals on it. Kadamaru feed him the pill. Everyone else get ready. Kadamaru shoves the pill down Sasuke's throat and the unconscious Sasuke swallows it, then his face contorts in pain. Hurry or Sasuke will die. Jirobo places the unconscious Sasuke in the barrel and everyone gets into position and weaves the necessary hand signs, then dark energy gathers from their palms and the surrounding area, then they thrust their hands down and the dark mist spirals into the barrel. Shikokumajin, the four cry out simultaneously and then the barrier seals itself and then Sakan throws 5 takes onto the barrel. Fukokuhoin, the 5 tags lock the barrel shut. Good, the first part is done. A/N, the scene between the Ginma squad and the Sound Ninja 4 goes exactly as canon. With the Sasuke retrieval squad. Naruto suddenly stops dead in his tracks and everyone looks at him with confusion. Naruto, what's wrong? Niji asks. I just sensed a very dark power unleashed and this chakra feels pretty damn dark, not as dark as Gigi's but dark nonetheless. Naruto says, shocked. This is bad. 5 cents just collided with 2 others and one of the cents is Sasuke's. Kiba says. The Sound Ninja 4, let's hurry. We can't be careless about what Naruto and Kiba have picked up, so we're changing from scout position and close in by walking slowly. Shikamaru says. If we go there, Sasuke will cross the border and be out of Hai no Kuni. Niji says. We might encounter traps if there was a battle, don't be careless. Just then Akamaru lets loose a small whine. The enemy scent is all over this area. Kiba says. Everyone stop. Shikamaru calls out and the 5 of them come to a stop. Trap barrier. Naruto says. What do we do? Choji asks Shikamaru. I could go in and trigger it, then use my Susanoo to defend myself. If you do that could buy some time, but it's incredibly risky. Shikamaru says. Alright, I'll set it off. Naruto makes a hand sign. Wood style, wood dome. A Wadum forms into emergence and Shikamaru, Neji, Kiba, Akamaru, and Choji get behind it and Naruto activates his Susanoo and rushes into the clearly obviously laid trap. After Naruto gets into center, it explodes and causes a huge cloud of smoke and debris to scatter like shrapnel, but both the Susanoo and Wadome protect their individual inhabitants. "You alright, Naruto?" Neji calls out. "Yeah, I'm okay." Naruto calls back. "Good, if you were injured, Lady Hinata would have my hide." Neji laughs. Sound Ninja 4. Sakan, Kidamaru, Tayuya, and Jirobo were resting and Sakan grumbles out. "We're in a hurry, but we have to rest. It can't be helped, in stage 2 we consume a lot of energy." Tayuya responds. "What's bad is that we can't use our bodies for a while." Jirobo continues. "It couldn't be helped, fighting against 2 Jounin, if we had held back we would have lost." Kidamaru finishes. Back with Sasuke retrieval squad. "Alright, we're ready to go." Shikamaru says, but just as they are about to step forward, black flames sprout into existence at certain locations. "Not one step, any of you. I sense the enemy's ninjutsu in this area and this will lead us back to them, but be careful not to touch the black flames or you're dead." Sound Ninja 4. Kidamaru had spider strings wrapped around his fingers when suddenly they start loosening and he gains a look of shock. "Kidamaru, what's wrong?" Sakan asks. "My spider webs, they've all gone slack simultaneously. I think it's a fire jutsu." Kidamaru responds. "So our enemy has Katan. Could it be that Uchiha Naruto kid?" "If that's true, then we're in big trouble," Tayuya says. Just then Kidamaru's left index finger bursts alight with black flames. "Ah!" Kidamaru cries out in pain as the searing intensity of the flames consumes his index finger. Then he notices the other strings laced with the black flames and he quickly severs the connection, and when his whole hand bursts into flames, Kidamaru takes out a kunai and cuts of his second left hand. "Kidamaru, what the hell?" Sakan asks. "Lord Orochimaru told us about those black flames. They consume anything they touch. If I hadn't done that, I would be a smoldering pile of ashes right now." "Got it, one." A voice calls out and Naruto steps out, his Susanoo rib cage surrounding him. "How did you find us?" Sakan asks. Naruto doesn't respond but merely laughed. "That doesn't really matter, but what does matter is you're all dead." Naruto charged forward, gun by drawn and eyes ablaze with fury. "You wish, kid, there are 4 of us and 1 of you, or should I say 5. Kidamaru pulls on a separate set of strings and Kiba, Shikamaru, Neji, and Choji come flying in when they realize they're caught. Kiba throws a smoke bomb. "What's with the smoke bombs? You can't escape them. They are stronger than wire but thinner than paper." Just then Kidamaru's body freezes. "What the? I can't move." "Nice work, Shikamaru, Kiba." Naruto smiles. "Kagame no Jutsu complete." "But I have this technique," Shikamaru says, smiling. "Thanks for letting everything go according to my plan." "You got me," Sakan says. "But I still have this technique." Suddenly shuriken fly from behind at Shikamaru. "What the?" Shikamaru dodges to the left but one hits him and the shadow possession was ended. Jirobo started making hand signs. Doton, Dorodomu, the Earth Dome surrounded the gang, but Naruto simply smiled and in a flash of his Mangekyo Sharingan his Susanoo rose up, busting the dome. Pathetic. Katan, Goka Meshitsu. Naruto unleashed a wave of fire at Jirobo, who dodged only to walk into Choji's Nikuden Sensha, which blasted him into Shikamaru's kick, which ping-ponged him into Kiba's Getsuga, and that left him open to Niji's Hakurokuju Yansho. Jirobo slumped onto the ground out of chakra and wounded, and Naruto grabbed him by the throat. "You really are pathetic. You are just dead. Wait, I will cleanse this world of those who are pathetically weak like yourself." Amaterasu. Jirobo burst into flames and in a few seconds he was ashes. "Come on, no more sneak attacks. We have the edge at 6-3. Let's finish this and get back, Sasuke." "Right." With the Sound Ninja 3. The Sound Ninja 3 were in a bad situation. Not only had it taken longer to convince Sasuke than they expected, but the retrieval squad did too well in tracking them. Then they thoroughly annihilated Jirobo in seconds based on how fast his chakra had disappeared. "This is bad," Sakan said. I know if we are late Orochimaru-sama will kill us. Tayuya said concerned. Just then black flames burst into life in a wide arch. Unfortunately Orochimaru is the least of your worries. Naruto's voice echoed out and 4 Narutos landed and 3 of them dissolved to wood, indicating 3 Moukton Bunshins. You 3 aren't going anywhere. Naruto slammed his palm on the ground and 4 Moukton Bunshins appeared and jumped to the edge of a large clearing and slammed their palms on the ground. Yanju Uchiha Kenjin. Quadruple Uchiha flame formation. At the clone's command the 4-walled red burning barrier surrounded the clearing. Naruto smiled darkly. Choji, you and Shikamaru take Tayuya. She's a typical long genjutsu long-range type with Doki summons, so keep an eye on that. Neji, you, Kiba and Akamaru, you take on Sakan and Yukon. Beware that they can merge with you skin and take you down from the inside. I'll take on Kidamaru. From my intel my skill set is perfect against him. Yes sir, the Sasuke retrieval squad replied and took their positions in front of their foe. Kiba and Neji versus Sakan and Yukon. Kiba looked at Neji then at his foe without a word. Both genin charged the two-headed servant of Orochimaru. Kiba started attacking in his family's style of fighting and Akamaru would help with their combo attack. Sakan and Yukon effortlessly dodged the attacks, but Neji's eye was quick and his instincts sharper. He managed to get quite a few jabs in on Sakan and Yukon, and no matter how hard they tried neither Kiba nor Neji couldn't land the final blow on the demonic twins. You pieces of trash are getting on my nerves. Sakan growled. He channeled chakra into his curse mark and both he and his brother grew horns. Arf, arf. Akamaru says. I see those horns are not just for show. Kiba says. Arf. When that guy on the right came out his chakra increased tenfold. We're already in a desperate situation, damn it. What's your preference, big brother? Sakan asks. Those two, in pieces. Yukon said. Now things get dangerous. If what Naruto said is true then he'll try and take us down from the inside, but close-range combat against a Hyuga is tantamount to suicide. Neji smiles and then he looks at Kiba and Akamaru. The latter was biting Kiba's hand. Being bitten by you, I must be a pathetic owner. Kiba thinks as he watches Akamaru. Okay Akamaru, I'll do as you say. We must do that. Garoga. Wolf Fang over Fang, Sakan and Yukon dodge Akamaru and they punch at Kiba, who blocks only for Yukon to slam Kiba in the gut. Kiba grabs Sakan's hand. Now Akamaru. What? Yukon asks. Get him good Akamaru, show him what we've been training for. Akamaru jumps in the air. Dynamiku Makingu. Dynamic marking, Akamaru spins and pisses in Sakan's eye, marking them with the scent. Ah. Yukon cries out. Damn your dirty tricks. Sakan roars. Now everything is set. Kiba leaps of the rock and Akamaru lands on his back. Jinju Kanbi Henge, Sotoro. Inuzuka-style combination transformation, two-headed wolf, the Akamaru head starts drooling and Sakan laughs. All that to see it drool. Sakan mocks. What can it do? Yukon asks. Kiba doesn't respond and he leaps into the air and starts spinning. Take this. Kiba roars and they start rocketing towards Sakan and Yukon, but they leap out of the way, but the wind shockwave cause a cut to appear on their left leg. Then Sakan and Yukon land in the drool only to get stuck. The drool. Sakan says shocked. Sakan, what are you doing? Right side. Yukon yells. Oh shit. Sakan says as they both see Kiba and Akamaru go rocketing toward them. Then Kiba and Akamaru collide with them. Garoga. Kiba roars and after 2 seconds Sakan and Yukon are split in half. How that Garoga's rotation speed is so fast we lose our field of vision. It's a super spin. Even if I don't hit directly it still cuts the enemy. If you get hit directly you're cut to pieces. Just then Sakan's right side and Yukon's left side form metallic limbs to form 2 new people. You got so confident. Yukon says sneering. Perfect. We were just thinking about separating to fight you. Sakan says clutching his arm. What? They separated into 2. Neji thought, shocked from his tree hiding place to avoid the fury of the attack. True, if we had taken a direct hit from that it would have been very bad. Yukon says. The real fight starts now. Kiba steps back as his chakra drops. Damn it. Kiba thinks. Arf, arf. Akamaru says. Yeah, I know, Akamaru, we've only got one more shot with double wolf fang and that's it. Kiba and Akamaru start spinning again. Garoga. Sakan and Yukon jump behind a tree to hide. It's no use hiding, I told you we can't see, and so we're not chasing you with our eyes, we're using your scent after you were marked in order to attack. Kiba redirects his attack and rockets back towards Sakan and Yukon, who bite their thumbs and slam their palms on the ground. Kuchios, Rashomon. Kiba goes spinning toward the gate, but of course since he couldn't see it he slammed right into it, causing a huge dent in the gate, but the Rashomon stood strong. Kiba and Akamaru fall towards the ground. That was incredible attack strength, this is the ultimate defense made to protect Orochimaru-sama, and they were able to put a big dent into Rashomon. Sakan thinks. But. Yukon thinks, then he and Sakan leap into the air and Rashomon vanishes in a poof of smoke. Sakan and Yukon go to deliver the final blow, only for Akamaru's head to open its eyes and piss in Yukon's eyes, and then Akamaru and Kiba return to their normal forms. My eyes. Yukon punches Akamaru and sends him flying. Akamaru. Kiba roars in concern. Akamaru, you covered me. Damn it. You did it again. My eyes. Damn it. Damn it, this isn't normal piss, it's a strong acid that's burning my eyes. Wait, where is the other one? Yo. Who are you looking for? I'll do the rest, go wash your eyes out in the river over there. Yukon says, then Kiba throws a punch at Kiba, only for Sakan to grab the punch. Having a good sense of smell and sharp claws won't be enough to defeat me. Not against my ability anyhow. You do know that the passage that runs chakra is heavily concentrated around your organs, right? These passages are interconnected, and surround the tissues that create the organs, the cells that make up the tissues, even the protein, which is the main ingredients of the cells. During my stage 2, I'm able to freely disassemble and reconstruct these cells with my chakra. Simply put, I can smash my body into pieces and then get inside an enemy's body. Then I am able to reconstruct everything back to the way it was and get outside. Unfortunately, you forgot you have two opponents. Niji's voice came from behind the fused pair. Niji's Byakugan ablaze. Jukin. Niji thrust his palm and sent chakra into Yukon's brain, killing him instantly. The body parts that were in Kiba died and were burned away with the death of its user. Ukon. Sakan roared out in fury and he charged, but Niji and Kiba nodded at each other and Niji grabbed Kiba's arms and started spinning. Hakusho Kaiten. Niji roared. Getsuga. Niji tossed Kiba, who used the rotation speed of the Kaiten to double his rotation speed and ripped Sakan in half. Kiba wins. Fatality. Niji said, and Kiba gave him a really look. Oh, don't give me that look, it was there. You know, for a genius you're an idiot sometimes. I blame Lee. Just then an explosion rocked the forest and the barrel that held Sasuke was in a crater and Sasuke was standing there laughing. With Shikamaru, Choji, and Tayuya 5 minutes earlier. Choji was standing next to Shikamaru and the knotted Shikamaru fired of his Kagemain and Choji expanded and wrapped a bunch of kunai around him and started spinning. Nikuden Hari Sensha. Spiky human boulder. Tayuya jumped back to avoid Shikamaru's shadow and substituted with a log to avoid the Choji, and she played her flute to summon her Doki summons to attack the pair, but Choji stopped spinning and dropped the kunai and he whips out a pill container and swallowed a green pill and expanded to 4 times his normal size and grappled with one of the summons, while Shikamaru used the added shadow of Choji's size to ensnare the other two and force them to turn on Tayuya, but Tayuya entered her version 2 state and reasserted her dominance over the creatures, and they broke the shadow while enhanced by the power of her curse mark. Choji slammed the summon into his twins and Choji looks at Shikamaru, who nods, and Choji swallows the yellow pill and Shikamaru fired of his shadow and 2 of them latched onto Choji. Choji started spinning and Shikamaru fired Choji's gigantic form, which slammed into 2 of the summons with extreme force and forced them to dispel. The third one got up to attack the pair, but Shikamaru swung Choji around again and Choji sped up the spin of his technique, and then he collided with the last Doki summon, slicing the creature in 2, forcing it to dispel as well to save itself. As Choji locked onto Tayuya, she stated, playing her flute again. Matiki, Mugen Ansa. Demon flute, phantom sound chains. Tayuya played her flute and trapped Shikamaru and Choji in the illusion, and she jumped to the side to avoid the gigantic Choji from crushing her. Tayuya pulled a kunai from the chain link that Choji dropped and prepared to stab Choji in the head, only for 7-8 shadowy tendrils pierce all her vital organs. She coughed up blood and seconds later she dropped dead. Shikamaru had his hand in the Kage Nui no Jutsu, shadow stitching jutsu, hand sign, and his index finger was broken, which he did on purpose to break the genjutsu. Check, mate. Shikamaru said, out of breath. Just then an explosion rocked the forest and the barrel that held Sasuke was in a crater, and Sasuke was standing there laughing. With Naruto 5 minutes earlier. Naruto was standing in front of Kidamaru, his Sharingan activated, staring at his foe with unconcerned impassiveness. Kidamaru formed the tiger hand seal and cried out. Kumo Shibari, the spider web fired from Kidamaru's mouth, but Naruto formed the tiger hand seal and activated his right eye and unleashed his Kemui. Katan, Bakufu Rambu. Fire style, bomb blast dance. Naruto unleashed a fire stream and the Kemui distorted the fire stream and unleashed a firestorm, incinerating the spider webs and forced Kidamaru to retreat, and he weaved hand signs of his own and opened his mouth. Kumo Nenkin. Sticky spider thread, a line of thick golden web fired at Naruto, but Naruto simply smiled and let it pass right through him, and he jumped onto the thread and charged in with a barrage of taijutsu attacks. Kidamaru held a temporary edge due to his 6 arms, but no matter how hard he tried he couldn't land a blow on Naruto. After a while Naruto decided to stop playing games with Kidamaru and formed the snake hand seal. Mokutan, Mokuryu no Jutsu. The wooden dragon wrapped around Kidamaru, restraining the ninja and his chakra. Naruto slowly approached as his victim struggled to get free, as Naruto charged up a Raikiri and charged in to deliver the killing blow when a cry from above had him jumping back. Karamatsu no Mai. Large dance, suddenly an albino man with bones protruding from pretty much everywhere. As Naruto jumped back, the new man was joined by Orochimaru and Kabuto, who cut Kidamaru free. Hello Naruto-kun. Orochimaru licked his lips. Naruto, you wounded Orochimaru-sama, and now you will suffer the consequences. Kabuto said, forming chakra scalpels. Kimimaro formed a bone sword and Kidamaru dropped into his Kumo no Ken stance. Oh, this will make things very interesting. Let's dance. Naruto charged, drawing his gunbai and combating the shinobi before him with ease. As Orochimaru struck out with his Kusanagi blade, Naruto jumped over him and unleashed a barrage of high-speed punches and kicks, and then jumped and spun in the air to avoid the bone sword and Kabuto. Then he drew a kunai and stabbed Kabuto in the back of the shoulder blade, pushing Kurama's chakra into the kunai, corroding Kabuto's arm, killing the nerve endings in the arm. Kabuto screamed in pain and Naruto spun and kicked Kidamaru and he sent him crashing into the trees. When Kimimaro came charging in, Naruto ducked under his attack and locked eyes with him, his Sharingan activating and casting his spell. Kimimaro froze and Naruto activated his Mangekyo and burned Kimimaro and Kidamaru to ashes with Amaterasu. Naruto dropped to one knee, confused. What's going on? I know I haven't used that much chakra. Kid, your chakra is fluctuating. I don't know what's causing it, but use my chakra to compensate. Kurama said. Gotcha. Naruto drew upon Kurama's chakra and his body grew a yellow chakra cloak over his armor. Naruto's chakra skyrocketed and his eyes turned a dark crimson and the center of Naruto's Sharingan turned to a slit. Naruto dashed in, laying down a monster beat down upon Orochimaru and the wounded Kabuto. As Naruto went to deliver the final blow to end Kabuto, an explosion rocked the forest and the barrel that held Sasuke was in a crater, and Sasuke was standing there laughing. Finally, I have it. Sasuke laughed even harder as he spun around to reveal his Mangekyo Sharingan. So Sasuke's got his Mangekyo? Kurama said. Relax Kurama, we got this. Ah, Sasuke-kun, I see you've gained the party. Orochimaru smiled. Then he shot towards Naruto, but Naruto inhaled and formed the horse hand seal. Katan, Goka Mekyaku. Amaterasu. Sasuke countered, channeling chakra into his right eye. Naruto dashed to the side to avoid the black flames. Then Naruto spun around, his own Mangekyo activated, and he saw chakra channeled to Sasuke's left eye, and the black flames behind Naruto turned into a dragon. Enten, Kuro Ryo. Inferno style, black dragon. Naruto smiled darkly and laughed. Nice jutsu, hope you don't mind if I throw it back at you. Enten, Kuro Ryo. Naruto used his own black flames from earlier to create the dragon, and the two dragons clash and the black flames tried to counter one another but found it impossible. Naruto, the chakra within Naruto fluctuated again, causing his black flames to go out. Naruto had to leap to the side to avoid Sasuke's black dragon and the latter started laughing. Looks like the copy is weaker than the original. Sasuke channeled chakra into his curse mark entering level 2 and Kabuto and Orochimaru landed next to him. Naruto felt a hot burning sensation both in his eyes and his stomach but ignored it in exchange for focusing on his foes. So this is all the great Naruto Uchiha can do? Kabuto mocked. You really are no match for Sasuke. Naruto formed the horse hand seal again. Enten, Goka Mikyaku. Naruto exhaled a wave of black flames and Kabuto's eyes widened. It. Kabuto cursed but he felt himself being dragged into the sky as he saw Sasuke carrying him and Orochimaru over the black flames. When they landed, Naruto was there to deliver a kick to Sasuke's gut and slice off Orochimaru's left arm and slammed his gunbai into Kabuto's head, cracking his skull. Oh, look at the pretty lights. Kabuto said, clearly out of it. Naruto clutched his eyes and his stomach as white-hot pain shot through his entire body. Kid, finish this now. Kurama said, however Naruto dropped to his knees as the pain grew too intense. Sasuke saw his golden moment and charged Chidori ablaze, his eyes full of malice. You stain on my family's honor. Chidori. Sasuke got closer and closer to Naruto and just as he was about to plunge his hand into Naruto's heart he blasted back by an invisible shockwave. Naruto got slowly to his feet, an evil smile on his face, and he started to chuckle. Heh, 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 heh. Naruto got to his feet and howled with mirth to the heavens. Ha. 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 Finally. Naruto clenched his fist and he opened his eye, dramatically revealing two eyes with a ripple-like pattern which spreads over the eyeball, with light purple sclerae and eye reads, Naruto's Rinnegan had awakened.